Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to Camcorder.
And welcome to Tina Time.
Yeah.
See how we did
Back
that?
together again.
Back together again. And hope you all had a great Passover and Easter, because by the time we post this.
That's right. You can see we're all...
You can see we're springtime here.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to talk to you guys about our... Since we can't go on Johnny Carson to talk about our,
Our
upcoming projects, we thought we'd interview each other. Because we both have a book coming out. So I wanted to ask you, I'm going to start with her.
Okay.
Why has it taken you so long? Why has it taken you so long?
Yeah, that's a good question. Some parts were really, really difficult. You know, as in, well, the
to write or the content or
well, first of all, I have a hard time writing a grocery list. You know, so that was a challenge. But as I'm writing, I'm finding if I really work on it, I'm able to massage it into, I think, a really nice story. People have asked me forever to write about my story, and I thought, oh, why? You know, I'm not doing a lot now. Why does anybody care? I really did. I thought, well,
I care.
I didn't have bad depression or drug problems or alcohol or
I'll be writing that book.
Anything like that. So I thought, well, what's going to be interesting about it? But I do have a nice story to tell. So.
And you divided into like three.
So the book is entitled "My Three Lives," more than just Katie from My Three Sons, and so I've divided it into my three lives: my, pre-acting times, then my, the main part of my acting, and then afterwards the rest of my life. So I can't wait for it to come out. You guys will be... I have to do this before everybody's dead.
Before all you people are dead.
You better not die before this is out. No, hopefully, my publisher's deadline is August 31st, and he said he has 6 months with which to publish.
So give us one instance of something that was difficult to... Now, for example, your kids are still alive.
Exactly.
And you have some not quite shining things to say about your relationships.
Right.
How do you deal with that when the children are still alive?
One thing
like with Volney.
Yeah, I said, honey, I want you to read what I'm writing about your daddy and me. And if it's something that bothers you, I will, I'll consider that. And I've said that to my other three. I'd like you to take a look before it goes to ink.
Right.
And because I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody.
But you still want to be...
But I want to be frank.
Yeah.
And, you can do that without subjectively...
So how did they... when you
They all
submitted
said, well, a couple of them said, hey, I don't care. Some said, yeah, I'd like to see it.
And have you showed it to them yet?
And my first husband has passed away, so that's not really a problem except for Volney, for my son.
Has he seen the Volney?
No,
parts?
I'm gonna show it to him.
We're seeing him tomorrow night, so don't show it tomorrow night. I want dinner to go well.
Yeah, so that's why it's taken me so long, but I'm really on a roll. I promise you, I'm writing every single day.
She is. She's being really good about it.
Yeah.
And I just want to...
How about you? So what got your... let's
before we get to me,
okay.
I just want to finish. I want to tell you just one thing. Last night, we decided to sit down and we watched... I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's time we talk about Cosby. Something like a documentary about Bill Cosby. Now, kidding aside...
Because he's been saying, Tina, you can...
and I'm not going to reveal anything, and I'm not going to be a tease or whatever, but I just want you to know that Tina was invited into his bungalow, shall we say,
when he was doing I Spy.
When he was doing I Spy, and he invited her in. And I'm not going to say more than that. And sorry if that sounds cloak and dagger. It's her book and her story to tell. But
I will be telling it.
She will be telling about Mr. Cosby. There. So on that happy note, yeah, I said I wasn't going to tease, and what? There I did. So
you can't trust him.
Yeah. So my book.
Yeah. So what got you started? Was it because I was doing a book, or what was it? Hey.
No. For Christmas, your sister Kathy gave me Bob Mackey's new. He has a beautiful
She gave one to me
coffee
too.
table book.
I wondered if we were going to be in it.
And we are. You know, we were a blip on this amazingly talented man's career.
But we are also his first show that he did alone.
And there was this one page to us, and the book is beautifully illustrated and laid out. And I saw this picture of us in the book, and I went, Now,
creative mind that he is.
In our stage show, Uncle Alvino would say, when he'd sit in front of the steel guitar, he had this joke where he'd pull his contraption out, and then he'd say, yeah, I built this. This started out as a sugar scoop. I'm totally screwing up the joke, but it was very funny. And I'd like to say my book started out as a shutterfly. I was going, well, I'll just line up some pictures and put a little caption and do, you know, that shutterfly, that place where you send in your photos and they make a beautiful hardbound book. And then I thought, what the hell?
He can't do anything small.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a coffee table book. And as you guys know, I've asked you to submit if you have, and I'm asking you again because I've received some wonderful things. If any of you who are watching this now have an anecdote, some kind of a King family, something to submit, I'd like to consider it for putting in the book as in a like fan section that's sprinkled throughout, because I've received some really cute things so far.
So do you have a title?
I'm not telling the title. I'm not telling the title. That's my tease. Yeah, well, and so let's jump back to you. So anyway, no, we can both read at the end. So what I have done is, as my project has grown larger and larger and larger, it's going to be like the Britannica World Book Encyclopedias by the time I'm done. I've asked the cousins to also, it was going to be just written by me, and then I've had all the cousins send photos, private photos as well, behind the scenes, candid stuff.
And memories.
And ask them to write memories. And it's, even for us...
You're going to make me cry. Okay, I know.
It is the things I didn't know about how individuals felt. Either joys or envies, or, I mean, it covers the gamut.
And because we were all different ages, everybody had a different viewpoint. Different take because of our age.
Yeah.
And our experience,
And it's basically a professional book. And when it did start out as a photo book, what intrigued me was our family spans, it's going to cover 100 years of photography of the music industry.
Yes.
Because our family spans, it starts in 1910, and 110 years, and goes to the present day. And the music that we've covered, something that's interesting, all the music from the past 100 years was sung when it was current. It's not just doing an old, let's do a big band medley. We weren't there,
Really? No, and I wasn't.
She wasn't, honest. She was in diapers, okay. But we have the moms singing that stuff when they were new, when the songs were new, let me just say.
Yeah.
And then in the 60s, all this music and the Broadway stuff, it's not before, it was all new. So 100 years of new music and professional photography. So hopefully that'll
intrigue you.
So before we go away,
Cam asked they said, why don't we read one little snippet?
Yeah. So go for it.
This was kind of voted on this is before Don Grady, Robbie, and Tina Cole got together as a couple. So we were just husband and wife, but didn't know each other. So I'm going to read a little snippet from my book. Every year, the cast of the series that were on television went to a publicity junket at an East Coast hotel where all the news media and their affiliates were set up in rooms, and we would go from room to room to be interviewed about the upcoming seasons. One morning, I called room service, or not room service, but the desk, and I asked for an iron and an ironing board to be brought to my room. And I had taken a shower. I should read this.
Just read it. That's the point.
I had taken
Read
a
it.
shower. My face was scrubbed clean. My hair was in a towel, and I had a towel wrapped around my body. I answered the knock at the door, expecting room service, and I was shocked to see Don Grady standing at my door. Laura, okay. He looked at me, and he literally gasped, and he said, "You are so beautiful. You look like a wife, a mother, and a lover." I was overcome. I had felt so flawed and unattractive for so long in my husband's eyes, and all of that just melted away.
Yeah. Me turn? My turn?
Your turn.
Okay.
You go for it.
I'm going to use my rose-colored glasses. Oh, there you are. What I'm going to read is about our Easters.
Oh, yes.
Although Easter vacation could never hold a candle to Christmas vacation with all its hustle and bustle and twinkly anticipation, it still meant I didn't have to go to school. It meant that I could stay home with Mom. I would spend most of my time drawing. Often she'd draw with me. I gotta say, the smell of hot vinegar boiling on the stove for dyeing of Easter eggs, though not as magical as the smell of burning jack-o'-lanterns or the scent of a Christmas tree lot, can still hit me with a flood of memories. All the goodies in the Easter basket, maybe a stuffed animal, and a couple of years, even a real-life bunny rabbit or chick. I have no idea whatever happened to those cuddly creatures, but after the honeymoon was over, they disappeared as magically as they had arrived, cage and all. I think at most I shrugged and moved on to tropical fish. The goings-on in our Easter shows would be reenacted at our family home on Greenleaf Street in the San Fernando Valley. It's as if we had walked off stage straight onto a bus and were then dropped at the front door singing "In Your Easter Bonnet." I remember the gloves
Always.
and the orchid or gardenia corsages and the hats all the king's sister mothers and daughters wore. I remember the clip-on ties. I remember the rubber bands Mom placed on my arms so the sleeves of my dress shirt would be the right length. The upper portion of my shirt reminiscent of a saloon hall piano player. But the lack of circulation in my arms was never too high a price to pay for having the sleeves be just the right length beneath my little suit jacket. The yard went on forever at the house, as did the Easter egg hunt. There was the unspoken rule that as a king kitty grew older, as we grew out of the hunt ourselves, we got to be the hider of eggs, which to me was often more fun. More fun, as was guiding a younger king kid through the paces of the tradition. Before the brunch was served, there'd be a prayer, but more importantly was the singing of "In Your Easter Bonnet" in 4-part harmony. As the decades have tumbled by, I've done my damnedest to keep the music playing, like a tribal shaman trying to make sure the old ways are not lost. But as the family's larger-than-life Hollywood years slip farther and farther into the rearview mirror, as family has moved away from Los Angeles, I've found it as hard to teach new dogs old tricks as the other way around. And so, you let it go. You let go. But with our holiday episodes and specials, those of us that weren't there and those of us that were on either side of the television screen can return in a Calgon minute. Shoes shined, gloves buttoned, and ties clipped on. And if you're lucky, you'll find that you're in the rotogravure.
I know.
And I wrote that. Why am I getting all misty?
Memories.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had a hell of a ride.
We have
Together
had
and apart.
A wonderful ride. Yep.
And we hope you'll be interested in seeing these as they come out. I'm hoping mine will come out before the holidays so you guys can, grab a copy, and hopefully Tina too.
It would be nice. If it's not, it'll be right after. So.
Yeah. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning into Tina Time.
And Camcorder.
And
We'll be talking to you very soon.
we will. See you down the trail.